schedule coming up right here. Very, very busy day. Now, Housemarque is known for fast-paced, intense score attack games like Super Stardust and Resogun, and they're here at E3 with their latest Matterfall, and Jari is here to walk us through it. Jari, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thrilled to be here.
Good to see you. So I'm a huge fan of your games. I've been playing arcade, twitchy shooters my entire life, which I imagine you guys have as well. Tell me what separates Matterfall from everything else that Housemarque has made before.
Well, Matterfall in its core is a twin-stick shooter, but we added lots of elements from platforming games. So there's like moving platforms and seesaw elements, and then we added one more layer for bullet hell games, like shmup games. So it's like a combination of different old-school genres, and we are bringing them together in Matterfall.
It feels like you guys have made a lot of games that sort of started in the shmup genre, right? Yeah. But now I'm getting vibes of Mega Man from this. I'm getting old-school platforming action game vibes from this. It's super cool. There's almost even like sort of Metroid elements to it.
Yeah, it's like a streamlined Metroid, and we got inspiration from like Turrican and run-and-gun games like Gunstar Heroes. So those were like huge inspiration from us.
Right, right. No, that's awesome. Now, what made you guys decide to kind of get away from the ship-based shooting games?
Well, sometimes it's try something new.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're like, we've been in ships for like 15 years now.
Let's do something else. Like let's try to do some character-based games.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what sort of inspired the idea behind this main character? Tell me a little about him or her.
Yeah, our main character is called Avalon Darrow. He's a mercenary, and we wanted him to be like this badass, but not like a hero character. So this is like been there, done that, and now I'm here again saving the city.
And it seems like the gameplay itself is a little more meticulous, calculated, a little slower paced than that sort of eye-searing, brain-exploding action of, say, something like Resogun.
We also have that there. We have like intense moments where you really need to like know how to play the game and utilize all the weapons and all your movesets. We also have that there.
But then you also give the players like
more
time
to breathe, and so it's not like 11 all the time.
Yep. Now, sort of what sort of, were there any kind of like films that inspired the design behind the character? He feels like very vintage 80s sci-fi.
Yeah, we got inspired by lots of like 80s action arcade games. More like the character is like just there to do his job and nothing else.
Now, is there a mini-map in this game?
No. It's quite linear. You go from left, right, or right to left, and there's little bit exploring. So each level has like civilians that you need to rescue, and those are hidden.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you get like new weapons and new augmentations from those civilians.
Did the civilians look like those little men in Resogun?
Yeah, but now they're looking like bigger men.
Oh, good, good.
But like the same idea.
I do appreciate that you guys make these like kind of hardcore twitchy-based shooters, but in the middle of it all, you're like, hey, help a few people too, save some friends.
Yeah, sure.
So it's really cool to see this sort of new 2D platforming design that you've evoked in this game here, where you're creating the platforms from scratch.
You can manage like the blue platforms with your Matter gun, and you can use those as like platforms or shields. You can shoot through them, but the enemies cannot come through them.
And here we've got...
Yeah, this is our awesome Overcharge Mode. When you collect those blue energy like orbs, you can then activate Overcharge Mode and then you have like extra firepower, you are invulnerable, and you get the highest score.
Which is awesome to give me like really like nostalgic Resogun vibes. Yeah. Because it's all of a sudden you've got this like Resogun level that just pops up. Yeah. So that's really cool, because you guys were like, we want to make a 2D shooting game, but how do we evoke some of our games from the past? Yeah. I was going to ask you, like, what did you learn making your last few games that you brought to the table here?
Well, all of our games are like gameplay first, so we want to have the like fast-paced action and the like solid controls, that you always feel that you are in control.
Now, one of the things that I really thought was impressive about Resogun, especially, was there at the launch of the PS4. And to me, you wouldn't think that a game like that would be a showcase of what the system's capable of doing graphically, but it absolutely was. And then it got even better with the PS4 Pro. Yeah. How is this taking advantage of everything that the PlayStation has to offer?
We have a HDR on the PS4 version, and we have like lots of like increased particle counts, and we have like the graphics are like through next gen.
Yeah.
And taking account of all PlayStation 4 power.
And it's sort of just like something that you can say, this is the lighting we're going to throw in here.
Yeah.
These are the explosions we're going to throw in here. And I think like the average person looks at this and they're like, oh, it's just lighting and explosions. And you're like, oh no, these are highly technical.
Highly tuned and highly technical stuff. And we are still tuning them and making them more awesome.
Now, here we're seeing one of the enemies in the game. Are a lot of them
one of the bigger enemies.
Oh, cool.
Like spiders, and now you can see the awesome explosion that it melts down, and
You guys don't do anything just sort of like simple?
No, everything has to be like flashy and...
like if I dropped a coffee cup in your game, it would explode.
It would explode slow motion and have a streak, and
I love that so much.
Yeah.
So the enemy design in this game, is it all sort of based on cybernetics, robotics?
Yeah, basically what happened is that the city that you are fighting on is built on alien technology. So this red matter. So every enemy is like red matter, it gets corrupted, and now you need to save the city from the corrupted red matter enemies.
So this was a place that was calm and normal before?
Normal before, and just like used blue matter, that everything was built on the blue matter.
And then alien disease got in there.
Yeah, it got corrupted and it got red, and
so is our main character trying to hunt down the source of that disease and just eradicate it?
Your job is just to clear out the city from the red matter enemies.
So he's kind of like Dr. Mario.
Yeah, basically.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about some of the different weapons that you get to use in this game.
You always have like your main weapon. It's the blue one, and you have like 4 different weapons that you get from the civilians that you save. They are you have like basic grenade, shotgun, sniper, and homing weapon. And here we utilize the grenade. Yeah,
which I love. I love
it bounces around, and you can do like trick shots with it.
Which I imagine is gonna people who play this game very fast paced. Which I am certain there will be like a very awesome speedrunning community behind this. Is that something you guys are designing around?
Yeah, we're designing the levels that you can just like push through them, dash, and do so all the like moves so quickly.
Is there any? Do you find anybody who plays it even without trying to attack anyone? They just rush through.
Just rush through the level, but. That's the wrong way to play it.
Yeah.
You want to get the high score. But maybe that's a challenge for yourself.
Will there be any sort of like pacifism trophies for seeing how far?
Well, we have like, if you do it so fast, you get also like timing score based on that.
You guys are really into trophies, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. A lot of our fans here at IGN PlayStation, they're huge fans of trophies. They're very passionate about that. Is the platinum going to be something that's very difficult to get?
Yeah, it's really hard to get. So you really need to master all the elements of the game.
Is it something that the people working on this dev team are struggling to get themselves?
Yeah, so I think there's only like few devs who can get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So the people making this game are having a tough time getting the platinum. Yeah. So I think a lot of people, when they buy a PlayStation game like this, they want to do everything they can in it. So that's really good news for guys like that, and girls like that, because they're going to sit there for a very long time to try to get everything in this game. Now, the main character is very quick. There's something really fluid and awesome about the movement. Can you talk about sort of traversal in this game? Is there double jumps, triple jumps?
Yeah, there's a double jump, and the core thing is the dash that you can see there. So utilize the dash all the time. So when in doubt, dash. So it basically stuns the enemies, and you can then kill them easily, and you can like strike through the blue matter and use the strike like all the time. That's like core movement sets. And then we have like basic double jump, sliding, and then we have these 0G areas where you can fly.
And we just freed that civilian from inside that pile of corruption, which is good to see.
And now he got a new weapon. It's a homing weapon.
A homing weapon? Oh, awesome. Yeah. And we had that sort of like, that weird, it looked like Ghostbusters, like the tickly laser wire thing.
Yeah, that's your matter set. With that you can build those platforms.
Was that vaguely inspired by Ghostbusters?
Yeah, well, yes.
Okay, cool,
yes,
awesome.
Of course. It's a beam.
That's awesome.
Ghostbusters has the awesome beam.
Yep.
So here's the homing weapons, so the projectiles will home to the enemies.
And once again, we can see all of the just insane sort of lighting and graphics work that you guys are putting into the most. Just every single thing you do in this game has a fireworks show behind it.
Yeah, we wanted everything to be and look awesome. Yeah.
Now, we saw one of the bigger enemies in the game. Will there be sort of larger bosses?
Yeah, we actually have like 3 bosses, and they are like, we are going to see 1 boss in this gameplay also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And there's also like this big dude with a shield, so you need to like get behind him and use like all what you got, all your firepower. Yeah.
it's really cool to see games like this still being made. That's actually one of the things I really appreciate about Housemarque is that they take genres that I think many of us grew up with and they bring them into the current day in ways that I think we remember. Like when I think of a game like Life Force or Contra, which this feels like kind of a mix of both of those games. Two of my favorite Konami games of all time. This feels like the way you would remember those games. Yeah, when you look at the box art, right?
Yeah, the games would look like this, and now the games do.
Now, is this something that you've been able to fly through in a couple hours?
No, we are still tuning the level content and the difficulty, so we are not sure how much like gameplay there is going to be, but yeah, multiple hours.
Because I know, like with a game like this, there's people who play it. Like I played classic games with like the 30 life code on because I'm bad, but then there are people who can like 1cc a game like this, you know. So are you playing? Are you sort of designing it in conjunction with the kind of people who could maybe play through this in one sitting and not die?
Yeah, well, in both. Yeah, we have like lots of checkpoints on the level, so we are not like overly hard, but we have like lots of hard sections. So you might need to like play through levels like a few times to get the best high score and get the best experience from the level.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks.
Gary, it's been awesome having you. Tell me when people can play this game.
Like August 15th.
What? That soon?
Yeah, that's soon.
It's out in like 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So good to hear. Congratulations on all the awesome work that Housemarque's been doing all the years.
Thanks.
And thank you for supporting PlayStation and making cool stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Coming up, we'll have Middle of Earth at Shadow of War. Coming up right after the break, IGN Live at E3 continues in just a minute. So thanks for watching. Thanks.
The biggest video game event of the year is here, and IGN has it all. Hit it! World premiere trailers and breaking news as it happens.
The floor is actually shaking.
Every game, every event. IGN at E3, June 10th through 15th.